So I met this chick at the bar.
Yeah?
Oh, dude, she was hot. She was just like, hey,
man,
you just want to
awesome.
And I was like, yeah.
Too easy.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
CIB. Oh. Hey, where'd you earn that CIB at?
The PX?
What?
It's not stolen valor. I bought it with my...
Hey guys. All right. Oh, yeah, this is it's been a while since I've done any Stolen Valor content. And as most of you know, I've been doing this for a long time, but there's a lot of turmoil right now going on with the SOCOM guys, the Special Forces, Delta. It's insanity. And there's a couple of channels out there that are part of that community. The guys served in those capacities, and they're calling these guys out. Number one, Tim Kennedy, you know, the Golden Child, MMA fighter, Special Forces. I guess he's still a Master Sergeant in the Maryland National Guard. However, he may be losing that SF tab. There's a lot going on with that. One of the sites actually did a breakdown on his book, had some of his teammates on there, and yeah, another version of Jeopardy. Can I get things that never happened for 200, Alex? One of those kind of things. So it's pretty funny, and I just wanted to chime in and give a kudos and a shout out to a couple of channels for really digging down deep into this bullshit. And you know, the stolen valor stuff. So there's a federal law. Most states have their own stolen valor laws. It all has to deal with monetary gains by claiming you were in the military and received some type of an award. And, you know, I've explained it numerous times, but it's not a sexy crime. It's hard to get. I mean, for instance, some of the guys I've called out, like Kaiser or Jeremy DeWitt, trying to get prosecution on the stolen valor stuff. You know, Kaiser was 3 Purple Hearts and 2 Purple Hearts and 3 tours. You know, all kinds of other bullshit. RPG to the grill and a broken leg and all that other crap. Jeremy DeWitt, Special Forces. At least with Kaiser, he tried to go to boot camp twice and failed twice. DeWitt, he was a convicted felon at 18, couldn't do any of it without, you know, getting his record expunged and a waiver. And there's many others. Bruce Penley claimed to be 5th Group SF, was a PFC in the National Guard. Derek Church, another one of my big investigations I did on him. He was in the North Carolina National Guard, was a PFC, was claiming to be a Ranger and airborne and all this other shit. And none of it was true. The pictures of him wearing the tan beret, and it was dressed over the wrong side. I mean, that, and he was a big tub of shit on top of it. But I mean, those are just a few of the ones that I've outed, and there's many, many more. I've got videos on them. Some of them, you know, I've outed, and Herb Minshew, the Marine Corps guy. We had his interview pulled down from the Library of Congress after I brought it to their attention that this guy most likely never served in the military, which he didn't. NPRC verified that. And we've got, let's see, just trying to think. There's just so many of these turds out there. And I mainly deal with the stolen valor. People ask me to validate people's military records, and I try and do that. Been having a lot of problems with NPRC as of recent, trying to get anything back from them. They just don't seem to want to do their job. So, I haven't been doing a lot of it. But, these two YouTubers are well, there's two guys, the Anti-Hero podcast and then Valhalla VFT. Those are the two YouTube channels we're going to talk about and how they're calling these guys out. Take a quick peek see here. Let's take a look at this one first. Valhalla VFT. Nate spent 10 years in Special Forces, and he's up front and really comes across well. Doesn't really get too crazy about the stuff, but he does firearms training. And let's take a quick look at his more page. His name is Nate, retired Green Beret out of 1st Special Forces Group, 10 years in Army Special Forces. Military combat honors include Army Commendation Medal with a V device for valor, Army Commendation Medal with a C device. I had to look that up. I had no idea what that was. As for meritorious service under combat conditions, and he also got a Army Achievement Medal with a C device. So good on him. He's got a master's in business administration. And let's see. Yeah, so he does Valhalla firearms training. If anybody's going to give you good firearms training, this guy's probably going to be one of them for sure. That was his bread and butter in Special Forces in the military. So let's take a look at some of his videos. Here's one with there's Shrek McPhee and Tim Kennedy. A Throne of Lies. He talks about McPhee and the bullshit. He's just got a lot of really good stuff. He really does. He dunks on Tim Kennedy and his bullshit. Let's see. He's just got a lot of really great content. Let's take a look at the McPhee one real quick. And I'll put links to their channels in the description so you can go over there, subscribe. They really got some great stuff.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. No fancy intros today. We're going to jump straight into this episode. A lot of you are probably thinking, based off the title thumbnail, this has to be comedy, satire, sarcasm of some sort. No, I can assure you this is a very, very serious video today. And I'm sure you're wondering, how is this even remotely possible? Well, that's what I'm going to show you today. So what we're going to be doing is going through all of the USASOC and Army Human Resource Command documents and service records.
Oh, yep. HRC, I've gotten records from HRC before through Freedom of Information requests. You could do it. HRC takes them a little bit longer, but HRC has access to everyone's IPERMs, which is their personal military records, and it's got everything in it. Every document that you got was scanned and put in there. NCOER reports, just everything. It's all there. Orders to go to school, orders for PCS, orders for promotions, award requests. It's all there. I got all of my records through IPERMs. So, yeah.
of John McPhee. What these documents are the unclassified, releasable USASOC Freedom of Information Act documents that are the investigation and the Special Forces tab revocation of John McPhee, amongst a bunch of other even more serious punishments in 2009. All right, so none of this is my opinions. None of this is secondhand stories through the rumor mill, grapevine. Everything I show you in this entire episode will be backed up by documents from either USASOC or U.S. Army Human Resource Command.
So again, brings receipts, same way I do it. He's bringing the receipts forward. So McPhee had his Special Forces tab revoked. I guess he was in Delta for a while. He was a sergeant major at one time and ended up as a master sergeant. So got reduced in rank, got kicked out of Delta, got his SF tab revoked. Go on Valhalla VFT, watch the whole video on it. It's very enlightening. Some really great information. And Nate, I mean, just seems to be a super stand-up guy, doesn't sugarcoat anything, brings the receipts, and does a really great job with all of his videos. The Tim Kennedy stuff's hilarious. They go over his book, and he covers a lot of other stuff too. Shark attacks are back. He's got some funny stuff in there, and he's got some serious stuff in there. Tim Kennedy destroys special forces. Yeah. This one here, where my pointer is, this guy was supposed to have been some kind of CIA paramilitary operator or something, but yeah, Jason Bourne, CIA legend. He covers all this stuff. You know, a month ago he was talking about Tim Kennedy. Lots of stuff on Tim Kennedy. These guys were pissed at some of the bullshit that Kennedy was spewing, and it's all been, shot down. Anti-hero podcast. Couple of guys. One of them was Delta. The other is a cop. Was a cop. I think he was in the 82nd too. I don't know. They got a green beret and a maroon beret on the desk in their studio setup and stuff. But they talk about some really great stuff. And again, in the videos, let's see, here it is. Anti-hero podcast, The Book of Lies, Part 3. They did a 3-part series breaking down Tim Kennedy's book and all of the horse shit that was in it.
You want to know what's funny?
What?
He didn't jump into Robin's age.
No way, Brent. No way.
It's all a lie.
No.
He didn't jump into
I was
Robin's
reading
age.
it going, he's right. He's right. This whole paragraph is very vivid.
Yeah. They were supposed to. They had an aircraft problem. They got driven into Robin's age.
Tim Kennedy.
It's just the most weird thing to lie about. It's the most weird thing to lie about.
Hold on, we're not recording.
So, yeah, they break down Tim Kennedy's book.
Ago, when we told him at the very end of the episode and said, "Hey, come clean. This will all be over." It'd be all. I think 8 months later, if he'd have done that, it'd all been over.
Yeah.
Like it's like people have a short memory, but
Man,
he refused to do it.
He offered him multiple times to come on the show.
Not only did he refuse to do it, one of the real reasons that I decided to do another episode is because he pivoted. He pivoted outside the tactical community. After our episode, he was no longer welcome in the tactical world. all of his tactical sponsors dropped him. And so he moved over to the political world.
So, in the realm of stolen valor, all of his sponsors dropped him. So I know there was a claim of a Bronze Star with a V device. He's trying to gain monetary or trying to get monetary gains based on his service stories. Could it be prosecuted? Maybe. Will it? Nah, probably won't. But these guys, the guy on the left here, SF Delta, I believe. The guy on the right looks like probably 82nd, and he was also a cop. So, you know, they bring on guys, teammates of his, and teammates of Tim Kennedy, and ask them about some of the grenade story. You have to watch it. It's really good. And again, they bring the receipts. They actually have people that served with Tim that were there when these events happened, and they debunk them. Yet another Jeopardy show. Um, it's crazy, and you know the whole SOCOM community is just like up in arms over this bullshit. Um, and I don't blame them. These guys, and not to take away from McPhee or Kennedy. I mean, they went through the toughest training the U.S. Army has to offer. You know, Special Forces training. I was stationed at Bragg from January of '83 till October of '87. Every month, if you were an NCO, you would go to the theater up on the hill, and you would sit, and you would go through your what they called back then NCODP, and then the SF guys would come in and do a little recruitment brief. The Delta guys would come in and do a little recruitment brief, trying to get people to go to their selections. Uh, I just went because I got the afternoon off after going to that. I was very happy where I was, and I enjoyed my family life and my home life. Um, I had neighbors that were SF. I had one neighbor that actually went through Delta selection and was selected. Um, I knew another guy that was SF and had gone Delta. And I mean, I had a lot of friends that were in special forces. I had one guy who was a commo sergeant. Um, he had just finished the Q course. He had a dirt bike. We used to ride dirt bikes together at Texas Pond, and he used to keep his dirt bike at my house. I lived just off post behind Simmons Army Airfield, and we could ride from my house through the trails down to ride dirt bikes at Texas Pond. And for those who probably never knew you could do that before the woodpecker shit, and they made all these areas off limits for virtually everything. Yeah, we used to actually have dirt bike races at Texas Pond, sanctioned dirt bike races. The 82nd had a motocross track up behind division headquarters at one time, and they actually had sanctioned races there. Uh, you know, we're going back to the early mid 80s, but yeah. But I knew a lot of SF guys. They most of them the quiet professional. You know, they didn't talk about what they did. They were doing stuff even back in the '80s. They were going down to South America, El Salvador. You know, lots of stuff going on. The SF guys were always busy. They were always gone. You know, tough training. So I'll give them that. They went through the training. Uh, McPhee went through the Delta selection. And if you watch there's some guys out there talking about it now. 40-mile ruck march, land nav. It's very land nav based for Delta. But you got to be able to carry some weight for lots of miles. So you need to be in really good shape to do any of that. So kudos on that. You know, Kennedy, MMA fighter, blah, 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 blah. Why in the fuck he had to completely destroy his career by just telling bullshit stories? I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. These guys have honorable service, honorable careers, and they just shit all over themselves. And they also shit all over their own communities. The SOCOM communities, the Special Forces, the Delta, the Navy SEALs. Um, I mean, I've got a video on my site on a guy that was claiming to have been a Delta operator, and he was full of shit the whole time. So make sure you go back and look at some of my old videos because I've got a lot of it in there. And again, usually when I get the Special Forces bullshit, I go straight to Steve at Guardians of the Green Beret. Guardians of the Green Beret has been around a long, long time, and they have been outing these phonies, more so the guys that claim to be Green Berets than those telling stories. I haven't even really talked to Steve about the whole Tim Kennedy thing. Um, Actually, I haven't talked to Steve in a while. I've got him on speed dial on my phone. For a while there, we were going back and forth. He was helping me out with some stuff. He had some assets that were able to access certain things, and I was able to access some stuff for him. And we worked back and forth quite a bit. But it's been pretty quiet as of late. But yeah, so again, the Anti-Hero Podcast. Go over there, watch some of their videos. Be sure to subscribe to their channel. They got a lot of great stuff. Tons and tons of stuff. Lots of military based. Lots of other stuff too. The North Hollywood shootout. They talk about that. Parkland shooting. So they got a lot of breakdowns of a lot of different things. Rangers, from gangs to Rangers, female cops. Yeah, they got a lot of everything. And of course, go over to Nate's channel. I love his 70s porn star mustache there. That's I think that's the regulation mustache for all SF guys and aviators. Uh, Big bushy mustaches. Anyway, guys, going to keep it short, and I'm going to be bringing you some more content. Race season's over for me. I've got one more race coming up in October. That'll be down at Daytona. Go watch the 388 Racing Channel. See how the old guy does out there on the racetrack. And make sure you subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't care which one or the other, but just helps the algorithm. And I'm going to try and bring you more content now that I've got some free time. Because basically I'm just out riding the dirt bike now, trying to stay in shape. And yeah, until next race season, I'll be around. If anybody's got anything they want me to look into, feel free to reach out. Email's listed on the channel. And that being said, have yourself a great day.